No warm jacket, mate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Gail, do you want to kick us off with the first three questions?
Yeah. Eddie, in a game of this magnitude, how big a beast to have Billy from the start?
Look, he's done well since he's been back into the squad. We feel like he's got the fitness now to start the game, but we've been very happy with Nathan. So what we do know is between those two, we're going to get a great 80 minutes out of number 8. But Billy's a special sort of player. You know, he brings energy, he brings certain qualities to the team. So we're happy to have him back.
Watson's first start in the Championship as well. What impact do you hope to see from him?
Sky Sports. Look, you know, he's a athletic player. He's good in the air. He's got great pace. He showed on the weekend that you know, he's close to being back at his best. It was a difficult decision because Jack's been outstanding for us, but again, he'll play a key role for us off the bench.
You talk about being prepared, sort of mentally, physically, and emotionally, but when you're going for back-to-back Grand Slams and a world record, how do you know for sure that they're ready? What have you seen this week?
Well, you never know. You know, it's human nature, and that's the great thing about sport. But yeah, we're preparing well. We've had one very good session on Tuesday. Today was a little bit indifferent, which is not such a bad thing because it keeps everyone on their toes. Then we've got tomorrow just to polish things off, and I think we'll go into Aviva Stadium ready to play and ready to take the stage. We know that Ireland are going to come out and have all their guns blazing. They've got nothing to worry about. They've got no fear of failure. They were favourites for the competition, and now they're out of it. So we're anticipating a tough encounter.
Eddie, 18 wins in a row for England. How do you avoid complacency on Saturday?
We talk about it all the time. We're consistently looking out for small things that lead to complacency, but it's always around the corner. You know, it's always lurking in the shadows. We train hard. We make sure we prepare well, and that's all you can do. You can just focus on the next game and try to prepare as well as you can, and we've done that. But it can always jump out of the corner.
What have you made of Ireland's performances so far in the Six Nations? How much of a threat do you think they are?
Well, they're a threat because they're a very good team. You know, any team that beats the All Blacks is a very good team. So we know that. And most teams in the Six Nations have one big performance. We've seen that from all the teams. So we're anticipating them to be at their best on Saturday, particularly because they've got nothing to fear, which always liberates the team. They don't have to worry about failing. It's a winner takes all for them, and that makes them even more dangerous.
Just finally, being at the Grand Slam, and it is a world record day for you. Personally, how big an achievement is that for you?
Well, it won't be achievement for me, it'll be achievement for the team. You know, we're in this together, coaching staff, the staff and the players. We all work together, and the guy that I think again should get a lot of credit for the team's success is Stuart Lancaster. He's was the guy that brought this team through, went through some hard yards with them. Most of the players are still the same, so I know he's batting on the other side now, so I don't know who he's barracking for on Saturday.
Eddie, you say every team has got one big performance in the Six Nations. Was England's last week, or do you expect more and better from them on Saturday?
Well, we're going to play better on Saturday. When I said most teams, we're not most teams. We're a different team, and I think we've showed that, and we're ready to take it to another level on Saturday.
And where will that be reflected, do you think, Eddie? Will that be attack, defence, or?
It'll be intensity. Yeah. Our intensity to play the game. how quickly we reload in defence, how quickly we reform and attack, how quickly we chase kicks, how quickly we get back to cover kicks. They're the things that are going to show whether we've got the intensity to go forward or not.
Now that you've done it once last week, is it almost easier for the players? Is it they're better, more programmed and more confident they can lay out that?
Well, nothing's easy. Yeah, if it's easy, everyone would do it.
Sorry, wrong use of word, but is it they more able to put it out there on that one?
Look, it's another game this week. We don't get any head start from last week's game. It's another game this week. We're prepared well for this game, and that's all we can do.
What's your view on the possibility of playing the All Blacks on November the 4th?
I've got no view on it, mate. I'm not an administrator. I haven't negotiated contracts. All I'm worried about is Ireland. If All Blacks want to turn up to the Viva Stadium on Saturday and want to play us after Ireland, then we'll consider it.
Eddie, did the RFU consult you on it before?
As I said, the only thing I'm worried about is playing Ireland.
Paul, bearing in mind that Ireland have only missed one kick in 20, discipline is obviously going to be key on Saturday. Have you been really focusing on that? How are you working with that to make sure you keep on the right side of the referee?
Well, week to week discipline is obviously always key. Our discipline the weekend just gone was outstanding. Conceded 5 penalties in the course of the game. We work hard on being on side. We work hard on releasing in the tackle. We work hard on then defending thereafter. So nothing changes for us.
Eddie, in terms of psychology of this match, has it helped or hindered the fact you've already won the Six Nations?
It makes us vulnerable. As I said, Ireland are in a very favourable position psychologically. They've got nothing to fear. We have to work harder to get in the right mental state, but we're capable of doing that.
Eddie, do you expect more of the same from Jonathan Joseph this weekend, and can he open up the Irish defence, obviously with help from the guys inside?
Well, it's a bit like when you score 100 the previous week. The next week when you come out, if you try to score 100 again the way you finish your 100, you're going to get 0. And it's for JJ, he's got to do the hard things well, do the simple things well. Then if the guys on the inside do the simple things well, he'll get opportunities. But you can never just repeat a performance.
But do you think he's got the desire to keep adapting like that?
Well, I wouldn't have picked him if I didn't think so.
How different does this group feel to a year ago when you were playing for your first Grand Slam in Paris?
I think we're a better team. I think we're more adaptive. I think we're more resilient. I think we're more self-reliant now. And they're 3 key characteristics of going forward as a team.
Eddie, when you took over, you challenged Billy to become the best number 8 in the world. How close is he to that now, do you think?
Well, he hasn't played for a long time, so he hasn't been the best number 8 in the world. But where he left off in autumn, he was certainly a very, very good player. There's some good number 8s in the world. So he's got to start again now. He's got to get back on the horse, and the horse has got to be heavy enough to carry him.
Eddie, you've been gracious about Stuart Lancaster, but are you being modest about your own achievements? Do you think that you personally get the credit you deserve for this?
Well, I don't think I deserve the credit because, as I said, I'm honoured to coach England. I've got them at a good stage. A lot of the groundwork's been done. We've got a fantastic group of players, and all the credit belongs to the players.
And honestly speaking, is it a little bit irritating that people like I am now throw the All Blacks into it when you can only beat the teams that are in front of you?
Well, you use the word irritating. I won't. I'm in a good mood today. So, look, the All Blacks have got nothing to do with us. We want to be the number 1 team in the world. When we get the opportunity to play them, we'll play them. We don't organise that. We don't organise fixtures. We don't organise when they're going to come. All we've got to do is play the teams ahead of us.
Eddie, ahead of this Six Nations, you said you were looking for more leaders in your team. How has the personality of this team developed? Do you have them now across the pitch?
We don't have the density that we need to win a World Cup in terms of leaders. But having said that, we've progressed a long way in the 14 months we've been together. We've gone from a team that probably had 1 or 2 self-reliant players to maybe 3 or 4, going up to 5 or 6. So we're getting there. We're going in the right direction, but it's going to take a lot of work to get a team good enough to win the World Cup because we're not good enough at the moment.
What does it take to win away from home? Eddie, you've had a few of those victories, but home advantage in the Six Nations largely seems to be significant. Does it require something different, or is it just the technicalities of the game?
Well, I think you just got to be brilliant at the basics. You know, you got to do the simple things well over and over again, and that's how you win games of rugby, particularly away from home, where you know the referee can be influenced by the crowd. You know that the home team is going to lift in terms of their emotional intensity. You just have to do the simple things well. If you do the simple things well, you win your line out, you win your scrum, you take the ball well forward, you don't give them any space at the breakdown, you defend with a straight line, you get off the line, you do all of those things well, then you don't give the opportunities for all those other factors to come into play.
Eddie, when you look at Ireland, you say they've got nothing to lose. What impresses you about them specifically as a team?
They've got a very good, hard-working forward pack. They've got a good scrum. They've got a good line out. They got Murray and Sexton, who everyone says are going to be the Lions halfbacks, so they must be the best in Europe. And they got gas on the outside. They got Earls and the other boy Zebo, who could score tries. So they're very competent team.
Eddie, Ireland have undone England in Dublin on a couple of recent occasions and trashed English dreams. Have those results, have those days been referenced in the build-up to this from those that were in and amongst it?
We've certainly had guys who have been involved in those games talk about it, but we haven't overly concentrated on it. We've tried to control the things we can control. We know the pitfalls of what can happen. We know how much the Irish dislike the English. We know how much they like spoiling a party. We know how much they like winning at home. So we know all those things. We're going to be good enough to cope with it.
Eddie, you've invited Christophe Lolichon from Chelsea to work with the team. Can you tell us more about what he's brought into the training?
Sorry?
You've invited Christophe Lolichon, the Chelsea goalkeeper.
Oh, okay.
And
we don't want to let any goals in, mate.
Can you tell us?
Well, just about again, we want to learn. We all want to get better as coaches. Goalkeeping coaches in football are exceptional at teaching players how to track the ball, and kick-off catching particularly is about tracking the ball, and we've improved in that area. Courtney Laws took a couple of great ones on the weekend. So we get those people in to try to learn from them and how we can improve our coaching of those skill areas.
You've been keen on bringing in different kind of sports into rugby. Can you tell us more about why and how did you improve the team?
Just because we want people who've got better knowledge and better skills than we have, because we want to get better all the time. And football in Europe is the number one professional sport, so we can learn a lot from them.
How important, as Courtney just mentioned there, how important has he been to where you've got to during this championship, and how impressed, particularly playing at flanker as well off the scrum, is that he adapted to that?
If you think back to Courtney, he just had his birthday, he was 28, and he's probably had 3 or 4 years in somewhere. If you look back when he was 24 and he came in the scene, he was going to be the next everything. He hit people, he carried well, he was a good line out for, and through great coaching by these guys, he's getting back to that now. And he's been such a big ball carrier, particularly when we've missed the 2 Vunipolo boys. He's been a significant carrier for us. His defence work's been outstanding, and his line out expertise is improving all the time.
Quick question, Eddie, about selection again. Elliot Daly, was he always likely to be fit? Did he break his nose? How's he been?
Look, we've done all the necessary HIA to the absolute letter, and as soon as he proved his fitness, he's one of the first we picked.
Did he break his nose?
I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter, does it?
Eddie, if New Zealand come to Dublin this weekend and you play them, will you beat them?
After we beat Ireland?
Yeah.
Who knows, mate? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Triple header.
But broadly speaking, as coaches, do you not see playing the only team that's ranked better than you as part of the development process, whether or not you get in the specifics?
But we don't control that, mate. We don't control it. Like, ask your paper runs the story, so maybe we should be asking you when the game's going to be.
Neil, in terms of European action, Leinster and Munster have been very prominent this season. The scrum is obviously dominated by their personnel. How different a challenge is it from your perspective to any of the other scrums you've faced so far in the Six Nations?
I think they've got good uniformity, like you say, because their forward pack comes from two sides. Leinster, contribute a large number of those players, so they've worked together a lot longer. But we've had the 7-8 weeks now from when we started in Portugal, so we're really pleased with the way that we're going.
Have they changed? Has the Irish scrum changed?
No, I don't think so. They're a big pack. Eddie's already alluded to it. They put a lot of pressure through on the binds and on the engage, and we've worked this week to make sure that we're ready for that.
Eddie, do you agree with that assessment that Johnny Sexton is the best fly half in Europe, or would you question his durability for that?
I know where you're going, I'm not going to answer that.
When you put Billy into an England dressing room, does it change the dynamic of it a little bit?
Makes it a lot smaller, mate. No, he's got that. He's got a wonderful character. He's one of those guys that he doesn't say a lot, but when he says something, it means a lot to the team. And he's got a wonderful eye for observation. He's able to see things very clearly, and therefore he not only adds his physical presence, he adds that very laid back but thoughtful observation to the team. So he'll add a lot to the team. But having said that, Nathan's been outstanding for us. For a young guy who came into the November series, played his first test. Who did he play his first test against? Was against Australia, right at the end of the series. And he started in 4 Six Nations games and did extremely well. We're really pleased with what he's done, and we're so lucky to have 2 number 8s like that.
Eddie, you talked about greatness that this team is on the verge of it. Has that message resonated with them this week? You obviously wanted to let it out there.
Well, I think the team's embraced it. To go from where we go to greatness takes another step of endeavour. It takes greater focus, it takes greater persistence, it takes greater emotional output. It's like climbing up a mountain. Every time you go to another level of the mountain, the air becomes more unstable, the ground becomes more unstable, your ears hurt, your nose hurt. It's exactly the same when you're climbing the ladder of success. Everything becomes a bit harder. And sometimes you've got to stop and just say, right, this is what's ahead of us. And probably we weren't very good at doing that. In retrospect, that's my fault. And we've done that, and I think the players have understood the challenges ahead and re-equipped for the challenges ahead.
Were you surprised that Ireland left Conor Murray on for so long last week?
Look, that's their decisions, mate. I don't have opinion on it.
Paul, did you learn a fair amount from Wales the way they defended against Ireland last week? It was a fairly good effort, wasn't it?
Look, Wales defended well. We know ourselves that we've got a good defensive team. We put teams under a lot of pressure. We scored a lot of points in the back of defence, a lot of field position against Scotland last week. We're looking forward to the challenge this weekend.
Eddie, what will your mood be on Saturday night? Will it be entirely dependent on what's happened in the game just finished?
Well, I don't know. I'm not presuming to know now. All I'm worried about is the game. But I think that was interesting, Sean Edwards. 90s, 1 finger, 2 fingers. Which one is it?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.